Hello. So today we are going to discuss about English Bharati of class first. So how you have to take the lessons and what is the main motive of teaching the students to read English, to learn the new language. So basically, when you open the textbook on the third page, you get some instructions for the teachers oblique for the parents, means whatever instructions are given, they are to be followed by the teachers as well as by the parents. So reading, starting with the thing, learning should be enjoyable, interesting, motivating and constructive for the children. So we are making the child to learn this subject. Learning process, how it should be enjoyable, means whenever the child is interacting in the class, he is participating in the games, he will enjoy it, right? It should be interesting. There should be something, the activities should be such like they are creating the more interest for the child. It should be motivating, means whenever he is doing something, he is able to learn something and the teacher, she is motivating the child. And the last is constructive. This is a very important concept. Constructive means whatever knowledge he is gaining, he is able to use that language in his day-to-day activities. That is we called as constructive. To develop child's language skills, now skills like listening, speaking, reading, writing and study skills, all the activities and games have been planned in this book. This is not just a textbook, means you're going to have lessons, poems, you have to just come and teach the poems and the lessons, and you have to write the question answers and you have to write it on the blackboard. It is not that thing. It is the thing where you have to experience the conversation, doing conversation in English. Fine. So how a language skill is developed? Language skills consist of listening, speaking, reading, writing and study skills. Even you have to learn the study skills. These all include the language skill. It is same for all the languages. What all things are there? Listening, speaking, reading, writing and study. Got it? These 5 points, they comprise of the learning of the language skill. Now this book is divided into various units. So the first unit, in every unit there are many of the activities given. So let me elaborate. Let's listen. The first one is let's listen. So when you read this, let's listen, means you have to speak that particular thing in the classroom. Now let's listen. What all things are there in let's listen? Use of rhymes, poems, simple instructions, polite requests, words, sentences and stories. These things are to be read by the teacher in the classroom. When you are going to read it, the students are going to listen to it. So what all things are there? Use of rhymes. Rhymes means what? There is a rhythm. Whenever we say the rhymes, there is rhythm. We can say this, twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. Star are. That is what? There are the rhyming words. So they are called as the rhymes. Then we have poems. It is not that the poem will have a rhyming scheme, star, far, right? But it is a poem, means where the poet is expressing his thoughts. Okay. So what all we saw? Rhymes, poems, simple instructions are given which you have to take in the classroom. It is an activity. Polite request. Whenever we ask for something, it is called as a polite request. Words, sentences and even there are stories, means you have to read the words, you have to read the sentences and you have to read the stories also. So that was the first point. Let's listen. Now let's speak. It is the time to speak whatever we have learned. Use of some of the basic functions of language such as greetings. Hello, how are you? That is called as greetings. Introduction. Hello, I am Kiran. What's your name? Oh, it's very nice meeting you. That is called as introduction. Expressing feelings. Oh, I am happy. I am sad. So this is what? This is expression of the feelings. Conversations, yeah, we are going to have conversations, and answering open-ended questions. Now let me explain it to you. What are open-ended questions? Open-ended questions are like whose answers are not fixed. It is based on my opinion. Fine. So they are called as open-ended questions. The third point is let's build words. As the name suggests, we are going to make words. We are going to build words. Use of flashcards, various games and activities for increasing and enriching the vocabulary. We are going to use flashcards. We are going to take various games and activities for what? For increasing and enriching. Enriching means what? Whatever we are having. For example, I have 2 to 3 words in my vocabulary and I know how to use it, but when I'm enriching it, I'm using the same thing in a different way at a different time. That is called as enrichment. Then the next is let's communicate. Communicate means there is conversation. Let's read. Use of alphabets, sight words, rhymes and stories. Now I'll explain that in detail. What do you mean by using a alphabet? So use of alphabet, how to use a particular alphabet while making a particular spelling. Sight words. Sight words are the words of which spelling is not to be learned, but looking at that thing, like at, right? Looking at that word, you should be able to read that word, not with the help of spellings, but with the help of sight. Then there are rhymes and there are stories. So you should be able to read the rhymes also and the stories. So reading a rhyme or a story is essential. So for that they have used the word let's read. Means what? I'm going to teach you and along with me you have to read that particular paragraph with me. Let's write using different writing forms. That is a writing part. Let's assess. Through various activities and games, we have to assess the performance of the students. So what are these performances? To recognize alphabet and sound. Are you able to, if the child is able to recognize the alphabet when I am saying the sound of the alphabet? Differentiate between small and capital letters. Arrange alphabetically. Reciting poems following instructions, giving verbal and non-verbal responses, understanding sequence in the story, speak about self, situation or pictures, enact or dramatize an event, conversation or a story. So I'll repeat this again. What do you mean by let's assess? So the first point was through various activities and games, the child must be able to recognize the alphabet and the sound. Means whenever I'm saying ah, the child should be able to recognize the sound ah is of letter A. That is the game. Sound is ah. Recognizing the alphabet A is recognizing the alphabet. Arrange alphabetically. I should be able to arrange the alphabets in a proper alphabetical sequence. Reciting poems, the child must be able to recite the poem and follow instructions. Whatever I am reciting and whatever instructions I am giving, the child must be able to follow the instructions. Giving verbal and non-verbal responses. Verbals means by saying the words yes, no. These are the verbal responses. Non-verbal responses. Non-verbal. Wow, that is verbal. So got the point? Verbal and non-verbal responses. Understanding the sequence of the story. What do you mean by sequence? Whenever a story takes place, it has a sequence of events. So the child must be able to understand the sequence. What thing happened first? After that, what the next thing happened? So the child must be able to understand the sequence of the story. Speak about self, situation and pictures. The child must be able to speak about self, about the situation and also about the pictures. Whenever I am showing any picture card, the child must be able to speak a few words about that situation, about myself and about the card which I am showing it to him. Enact or dramatize an event, conversation or a story. The child must be able to enact. Enact means I am telling the story. I should be able to put emotions while performing that particular story. Dramatize an event. If I am showing that an old lady is walking, how will she? There was an old lady. She was walking very slowly. So this is enactment, and also I am doing a drama. And conversation or a stories. The child must be able to have a conversation and a story. So these were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points which I have discussed in this lecture. It was having let's listen, let's speak, let's build words, let's communicate, let's read and let's assess. They are the 6 points which you have to take these activities in the classroom, and it is compulsory to take all the activities given in the textbooks. So let's meet in the next session. Bye.